It's been already 3 minutes, so let's start. And as I've mentioned before, today we're talking about a super important and sensitive topic that is cybersecurity for startups. And the webinar is hosted by the Top Voices, a friendly community of 3,000 founders and tech professionals worldwide, as well as media platform, as I mentioned before. So I hope you already joined us on LinkedIn and subscribed to our newsletter. And in case you didn't do this, please find the link in description to this translation. So our guest today is Ilia Dubov, Head of Cybersecurity at Quadcode, which is a global fintech company specializing in trading and investment software. Ilia has more than 11 years of experience, and he has led security efforts during major acquisitions in banking, which is quite a challenge. So Ilia is a great expert on cybersecurity, and today he will share with us some great insights for startups, how to secure their businesses, their customers' data, and many more insights. We'll have a presentation block, and right after that, we'll have 10 to 15 minutes for questions. So without further ado, I give the stage to the Ilia.
Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, excellent. Thanks a lot, Lana, for my introduction. I really enjoy our collaboration with the Top Voices, and also I'm glad to hear that the Top Voices attracts startups in cybersecurity area. My name is Ilia Dubov, head of cybersecurity and cybersecurity expert at Quadcode, an international fintech company, and welcome to our webinar, Cybersecurity Essentials for Startups. Um, For the four next webinars, we are going to discuss cybersecurity essentials for startup in order to help startup leaders and to young entrepreneurs prepare for this rising challenge and define useful frameworks, tools, and practices for defending businesses in digital space. Let's start our first webinar, which I named as Cybersecurity, a new challenge for startups. Today, I will share you some statistics on cybersecurity issues among small, medium businesses and startups, explain to you fundamental cybersecurity concepts, and to tell why I think that startups are the perfect aim for cyber criminals. Let me introduce myself briefly. I'm a cybersecurity expert with 11 plus years of experience in securing businesses, predominantly in finance technology and banking areas. My current position is Chief Information Security Officer at Quadcode, so I'm in charge of creating, maintaining, and delivering cybersecurity strategy and also managing the efforts of four teams with cybersecurity professionals in the achievement of high-level cybersecurity systems for defending our businesses. Also, I helped my company when it was on startup phase to overcome a crisis from cybersecurity perspective and built cybersecurity from scratch and contributed a lot to the current state of a mature and successful company. I'd like to start with the question. Do you know how many small, medium businesses and startups faced a cyber attack recently and became a victim of a cyber incidents? Can you guess? Okay, you can write your answers down to the chat of our webinar. So, according to recent Microsoft security research that covered more than 2,000 startup members in the UK and in the US. 1 in 3 company have experienced a cyber attack last year. Maybe your company underwent it too. To be honest, this amount surprised me a lot. Decades ago, cybersecurity was a small topic among technology departments and huge enterprises. And sometimes I still can hear that cybersecurity is just a technological issue, and there is no room for it at board of directors meetings and startup conferences. However, statistics tell us other story. 94% of respondents, according to Microsoft Security Research from small and medium businesses, consider cybersecurity critical for their companies. These facts pointed out the relevance and importance of the topic among startups. But what is cybersecurity in general? Let's sort out here. For startups, I like to define cybersecurity as part of their products and services quality, which contributes to building trust and reliability with their customers. So when you think of idea building a brand new product and launching a new service, you consider potential customers and their pains, maybe market fit for your idea, probably UX and UI. So cybersecurity and privacy also become extra topics to discuss when planning. Also, many companies heard the buzz around cybersecurity and started using cybersecurity as a competitive advantage. During different presentation, you could meet phrases like "our smartphone is the most secure on the market." Our cloud provides an opportunity to store your data in the most secure and reliable way, and our service will ensure your security and privacy. Sometimes it's just empty words. Sometimes not, because I see how many companies contribute to cybersecurity of their products. From scientific perspective, cybersecurity protects companies' computers, networks, and data from cyber threats. It involves implementing measures to ensure confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data and systems. Cybersecurity encompasses various techniques, processes, and technology to safeguard your data from threats and prevent cybercrime. I pointed out key cybersecurity concepts in this definition, like digital assets, cyber threats, and cybercrime, which help you to understand the subject clearly. Let's deep dive into it. What cybersecurity is aiming to protect is business assets, or as I like to name it, hidden gems. One of the most popular cybersecurity standard simply defines assets as anything that's valuable for your business. Assets are like treasures that make your business unique and successful. For a jeweler, it's diamonds. For a startup, it things like customer data, intellectual property, cash flow, and state-of-the-art technologies, or even your reputation. When we speak about assets, we often presume data, because data is a new commodity in digital world, like oil or gold are commodities in real world. Assets or data are used everywhere in creating value, decision making, creating competitive advantage, and so forth. Nowadays, more and more assets exist in digital form, like bank accounts, financial transactions, and record with customer information in databases, which make them available for cyber threats or computer threats. Let's jump to the concept of cyber threats. A cyber threat is any malicious activity aimed to damaging, stealing, or disrupting your assets. It's like someone trying to break into your house, not because the house is big, but because someone knows your house has valuable items and lacks of guarding system. On the slide, I wrote down names of most common threats and attacks, and might have continued the list beyond the slide. We carefully sort out each type of threat in the next series, but for now, I will share some analogies with you to enhance your understanding of the topic. Social engineering and phishing attacks are like a hypnotizer tricks your employee to open the front door of your office and and hands over the keys to your safe. The trick is all about exploiting trust and human errors, not hacking your system. A DDoS attack is like a mob of people flooding your storefront, not to buy anything, but to block real customers from entering. In the digital world, this is what happens when attackers overwhelm your website or servers with fake requests or fake traffic, making it impossible for legitimate users to access your services. Ransomware is like a burglar breaking into your office, locking all the files and useful stuff in a safe they brought with them, and then demanding payment to give you a key. But the problem here is if you pay, there is no guarantee that the key will actually unlock the safe or that the burglars won't come back for more and more money. In the digital world, ransomware does this by encrypting your data, shutting down your operations, and holding everything hostage until you pay a ransom. A data breach is like someone sneaking into your office and stealing your customer list, financial records, and confidential business plans without you even knowing they were there. It's not just about a theft, it's also about the trust that you can lose with your customers and partners when they find out that their data is no longer safe. In the digital world, a data breach exposes your sensitive information to the wrong hands, often leading to financial loss, legal issues, and reputational damage. An insider threat is like having someone on your team who decided to pocket the cash, share your trade secrets with competitors, or accidentally leave the vault door in your office open for thieves. Because they already have legitimate access to your business, they don't need to break in. They just misuse the trust and permissions you were giving them, either intentionally or by mistake. Threats are continuing to evolve, but still remain really dangerous. But what power drives threats to its target? The answer is threat actors. A threat actor is any person, group, or organization that intentionally causes harm to your business and hidden gems through threats I mentioned before. Think of them like about bad guys. But what is the motivation for them to be a bad guys? Let's linger here and sort out with threat actors their targets, motivation, and threat level. The first threat actor is script kiddies. They bring low to moderate threat level. Their motivation is usually curiosity, boredom, or seeking recognition. And they choose easy target like poorly secured websites or systems for their attacks. Script kiddies are like neighborhood pranksters who don't really know how to break into your house, but they can watch on YouTube how pick up a lock or how to throw a brick to your window. Luckily, the basic cybersecurity measures can get them out of their targets. The second threat actors are hacktivists. They carry moderate to high threat levels, act due to ideology, political activism, or raising awareness about specific causes. And they choose particular target which activists consider as opposing their beliefs. Activists are like protesters who don't just picket outside your office. They find ways to disrupt your operations online to make a clear and explicit statement. It's not simple to set hacktivists against you, and usually they explicitly declare a cyber war against a particular target using social media. So companies have some time to prepare their defense against hacktivists. National state actors bring very high threat level, share the interest of their countries in espionage, disruption of foreign businesses, or gaining competitive advantage for their nation. Nation state threat actors are like highly skilled spies sent by a foreign government to steal blueprints or sabotage operations. They can choose a startup as a target if the startup works in critical state sectors or handles sensitive data like information about energy, defense, politics, and so on. You need to put a huge effort into defending your businesses against these serious and dangerous threat actors. For those who work in governmental supply chains and in critical sectors of economics, I highly recommend using collaboration with cybersecurity agencies in your country to defend yourself against the national state threat actors. Insiders carry moderate to high uh, threat level, depending on their access level within your company. Their motivation is revenge, financial reward from third parties, or just negligence. And it's usually an emotional reaction to what happens within or inside your company. So, my recommendation is to be really careful with your employees. Last but not least, it's cyber criminals. They carry a high threat level. Their motivation is making money, and they can choose every company as a target for their crime. This is most likely and dangerous rival for all the companies, including startups. They are like organized gang in the digital space. Often they operate like common businesses, hiring personnel to establish malicious campaign, write viruses, prepare phishing emails, and so forth. Now we have full chain here. Threat actors pursue financial profit, choose new and new targets, looking for weaknesses in their defense and run threats against target. Cybersecurity calls it like a kill chain. We will speak about it in next webinar. So, the United States International Development Agency estimated global cost of cybercrime to top of 8 trillion in 2023. And experts proposed its rise to approximately 24 trillion United States dollars by 2027. Some experts even called it as biggest transfer of wealth in history of humankind. Together, cybercriminals operate at the market that's called a black market. Make money, new cyber criminal groups emerge. Uh, they take a part in competition between each other and constantly spreading these black markets. Strong financial motivation pushes cybercriminals to enhance their malicious arsenal and hit new and new targets, including small businesses and startups. So, what makes startup as a good aim for threat actors? Let's start out here. First thing that came to my mind that startups have common misunderstanding about this topic importance. As Microsoft says in their report I mentioned before, many startup leaders still have beliefs that cyber attacks are not about their companies because of the size and other factors. I met such behavior when I joined my company. The founder hadn't invested in cybersecurity, nor money or resources, and ignored the problem while it affected customers. When customers' complaints reached their critical mass, he acknowledged the problem and allocated required resources. That's the story how my company hired me. Anyway, this type of mindset of excluding problems is wrong. It can lead to catastrophe. Let's also speak about other myth or beliefs about cybersecurity that I often meet in my practice. First myth, cybersecurity is expensive, and this myth is easy to break down. There are many free-to-use frameworks, community-supported tools, and small team offers from large cybersecurity vendors. You can choose anything at a reasonable price. Second myth about cybersecurity, we need to hire cybersecurity guy. So you don't need a dentist to clean your teeth, and you don't need a hygienist to wash your hands properly. So cybersecurity contains a lot of simple and easy to follow practice that startups can establish within their companies. And last myth about cybersecurity, we need to hire a team of cybersecurity professionals to achieve a distinct and mature level of cybersecurity. Believe me, I was the only guy who was in charge of cybersecurity in my company for 1 year, and using collaboration and segregation of duty, explaining to software engineers and IT operations staff their role in defending our company. We could reach a distinct level of cybersecurity, overcame a cybersecurity crisis, and launch good operations. The second factor that makes a startup as a good aims for cyber criminals, startups are not ready to defend themselves. 94% of small and medium businesses members consider cybersecurity critical, but without the cybersecurity expertise, practices, and tools, startups are still vulnerable. Moreover, when Microsoft asked respondents about protecting their assets against threats, roughly 1 in 5 said that their business somewhat effective in the best cybersecurity practices. In my practice, I saw companies with their cybersecurity measures, so even script kiddies achieve success in their attacks. Startups rely on external sources of expertise in cybersecurity, like external cybersecurity consultant, external service providers, recommendation from cyber insurance company, external analyst reports, and so on. Forgetting that the first line of defense for cybersecurity in the organization, it is personnel of the company. The third factor that startups are still businesses that generate value, take a part in supply chains, and process sensitive data. Uh, Many have learned from experience about the financial, reputational, and productivity cost of an attack. Microsoft research shows that the average total cost of an attack for small and medium businesses companies approximately 250,000 United States dollars, but run as high as 7 million United States dollars. So cybersecurity attacks are expensive, and believe me that investing resources in cybersecurity, adopting cybersecurity best practices, looking for proper cybersecurity tools are much more lucrative way than becoming a victim of cyber attack. Those three factors make startup especially vulnerable from a cybersecurity perspective. However, it opens the opportunity to take care of cybersecurity. Luckily, startup can set up minimal cybersecurity benchmarks at a reasonable price to mitigate the risk of catastrophic consequences of cyber attacks. We will speak about what frameworks to use, what measures to choose, and what tools to implement to achieve a distinct cybersecurity level. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer.
Okay, Ilia, thank you so much. Thank you for the presentation. From my personal point of view, this was really helpful because I've been on the both sides of it. I do really understand the business side when you don't really think that you have to spend any money or time for cybersecurity measures because you're doing business, you're developing your team, you're a startup, you have to sell, and that's why you just ignore the cybersecurity threats because the like probability of that it will happen with you is really low. But one day my startup, I was an employee there, but I was one of the product leaders, and our startup, I'd say around day startup, was really attacked, and the hacker crashed all our infrastructure. So we were standing for, I don't know, two weeks we can't serve our clients. This costs us a lot of money, and the worst thing is that it really costs us reputation, because we were working with a lot of corporate clients that just left us because they couldn't trust us anymore. So that's why even if there is a chance of, I don't know, 1% probability that you will be attacked, you really have to think about, does it really worth the risk? So switching to the questions.
Yeah.
The first one is about the most painful thing is the resources, and Lime Carter asks, what can a startup manage basic security if the CTO is the only technical person? Popular case, actually.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the question. It's a really good one. My answer is yeah, it is really possible. And for those companies, I would recommend like cybersecurity has the concept of threat modeling. And when your team um, designs the product, you can think about the product from cybersecurity perspective and try to answer the question, what can go wrong with our product uh, from cybersecurity perspective. So threat modeling doesn't require any special skills, technical abilities, etc., etc. And anyone in your team can start to do it. I hope I answered.
Yes, thank you so much. And we have some more time for a few more questions. And there is a very good question from Jake about external audits. Are external audits worth it for early stage startups, or you just shouldn't think about it?
Thank you so much for the question. It's really interesting, but I would say it depends on the stage of the startup. So I consider external audits as not useful for startups who uh, don't launch their product and start attracting customers. Yeah, but for startups, those started the operations, I find external audit, especially from technical aspects, not cybersecurity processes, but technical aspects. I mean, code review, some analysis of defense, penetration testing, etc., etc. Might be quite useful, I would say.
Not considering that they're very expensive, actually. You have to think about the
Yeah,
business
yeah.
part. Yeah. There are actually two questions about the software. I will unite them in one. Maya asks about free antivirus solutions. Are there enough for small businesses, or should they look for something else? And at the same time, Raman asks about simple cybersecurity tools that works well for small teams. I think that there might be a kind of combined answer for both of these questions about the recommended tools.
Could you repeat the first question, please?
The first was about free antivirus software, and the second was just about cybersecurity tools.
Okay, for me personally, it's kind of different questions, but I try to be clear and short answering it. First question about free antivirus. A couple of years ago, cybersecurity community faced with like huge negligence from uh, one of cybersecurity vendor who spreaded free antivirus. The company was uh, Avast, and it appeared that Avast sold the data of customers who used their free antivirus. So, from cybersecurity perspective, nothing is free if we are talking about vendors. So I know in place some free cybersecurity tools that is supported by community, and it's okay from cybersecurity perspective. But I would never trust to like free to use tool from large vendor. So considering the antivirus, you should pay for it. And second question was about simple and cheap cybersecurity tools to consider. So I will choose two. First of all, it is Password Manager. Yeah, it's like basic uh, hygienic tool for cybersecurity, because as I know, many startups has accounts, has shared accounts, like for accesses to different cloud applications, to accesses like common emails, support emails, etc., etc. So the password manager can be really useful for startups. And second one, it is application for two-factor authentication. Yeah, this is also really useful, and I think that everybody can set up something like Google Authenticator or Authy or something like this in order to protect their accounts from hacking.
Okay, thank you so much. The next question is from the Todeus, and he asks, how can we tell if hackers might see us as a potential target?
Oh, it is a really perfect question. So it's barely possible to tell if hackers are going to attack us or not, but it is possible. So cybersecurity has a concept of threat intelligence. This is the data that can tell us about activities of hackers. So the problem is that this data can cost you a fortune. However, there are still open sources of threat intelligence, like hacker forums, like Twitter or X, or something like this. And if you want to predict behavior of hackers towards your company, you should find useful for you sources of threat intelligence and constantly monitor it, which is difficult task from my perspective.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I think that we have time for two more questions. And Sergey asks, have you participated in any red or blue teams during? If yes, how successful was your experience?
Yeah, sure. I grew up in security leader from blue team, and I started my career as a cyber security engineer in blue team. So I was on like defenders side. Yeah, I think that this is like great experience that I had in my life. But moreover, for those who want to step into cybersecurity space and career, I find more useful my experience as a system administrator that I had before I joined cybersecurity team. So understanding the system from both like a system administrator perspective and from cybersecurity engineer perspective is crucial for creating a successful career in cybersecurity from my point of view.
Thank you so much. And the next question is, what kinds of startups should think about cybersecurity first? So fintech is obvious, but who else?
Oh, it is interesting question from my side. let's think about it. Yeah, I think fintech is obvious because financial area is a highly regulated area. So, and uh, every year, regulators bring in us new regulations, new cybersecurity requirements, etc., etc. But let's think about like emerging areas like AI. I think that startups in AI industry who make machine learning models, etc., processing big data, big amount of data, should raise concerns about cybersecurity because attackers constantly finds a way to break AI models, to poison the data, etc., that can have influence on making decisions and general working of the model. So, and second area, apart from third area, I would say, apart from AI startups and fintech startups, I would choose health tech startups because data about our health is critical. But also, I observed that health tech market is an emerging market nowadays because of um, things that Apple introduced in their health application, etc., etc. So it becomes an ecosystem, and I think that uh, health tech startups should take care about cybersecurity as well.
Yes, actually, this makes a lot of sense. The fun story was that I've made a GAN test in 23andMe, and after 2 weeks, I've sent my data to them with the top voices we were covering their security branch and that data branch. This wasn't funny, but actually it was. So,
Yeah.
okay, we have just 1 minute for the last question. Sorry, we have a lot of questions, but this will be the last one because we're out of time. Are script kidders and bug hunters the same? And should someone pay a bug hunter if they ask for a reward?
Oh, it's really a great question. Thank you for asking. Uh, what you need to understand about script kiddies and bug hunters, I can answer like a meme. So, script kiddies aren't your bro, but bug hunters are your bro. So I can share stories. I can share one story from my practice when we collaborated with a bug hunter who found dangerous SQL injection in our website and application for partners. This vulnerability allowed them to exert all the database containing data, contact data, financial data, transaction data, all of our partners. And we paid them something around 3,000 United States dollars. But leakage of the database would have cost us a fortune, I would say. So yeah, my recommendation is to collaborate with bug hunters, launch bug bounty programs, vulnerability disclosure programs, etc., because it can contribute a lot to your security.
Okay, thank you so much. Uh, I actually said already that previous question will be the last, but this will be the last for sure because it's actually a very good question and very valuable for our community because this is about career. So, is there a way to jump from data analyst with huge development experience to cyber analyst or pen tester?
Yeah, it's really a good question to think about it. Uh, it's it is also a room to switch your career. Yeah, if you define your goals clearly, like define your study path or something like this. But for data analyst, I would like to switch to cybersecurity operations center analyst, because from my point of view, it is either way, because both of these profession works with data, but if data analyst works with data related to like business operations, cybersecurity analysts work with data related to a state of the cybersecurity of the company and cybersecurity posture of the company. So yeah, for data analyst, I think it will be hard to switch to a pen tester, because it's different. It requires a different type of hard skills. But the easiest way for data analyst to switch like to cybersecurity analyst job position.
Great insights, great insights. Thank you so much. I think we have to finish for today. All questions about open roles and career path you can ask Ilya on the LinkedIn or somewhere. And also welcome to our community. The Top Voices is a community of 3,000 founders and tech professionals worldwide. And we have regular webinars. We have media platform for your publications as well as newsletter. So you can find us on LinkedIn, or you can subscribe to our newsletter on our website. All the links are below the video. So that's it. Thank you, Ilya, once again for your great experience. And
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.